Let's look at using the smartphone system. So really how this is going to work is you'll log in here every now and then, and at first you might want to just get familiar with what it looks like, set up some of the items for your business, and then after that you'll probably live in the Podio leads section, but it's good to know how to navigate through smartphones. So on the website, when you get to the login section, you can either type in your email and password, or if you're already logged into Podio, you can click the Podio icon to get logged in. So first things first, it will take you to your dashboard. The dashboard is pretty cluttered, I'm not going to lie. I don't spend a lot of time on the dashboard. It's just got a lot of information, but you can notice you have a balance here at the top. You have, in the top right, you also have some information about your account you might want to go check out. So you can click on My Account. The big one is going to be your voicemail greeting. You're going to want, it's going to have like a default one that's pretty basic. You're going to want to go in and actually add a voicemail greeting. I will have a work instruction for exactly how to do that because this is important. You're going to want to make sure you have that set up beforehand, and then so that's pretty much all you need to do within your account settings. So additionally, I think you can go to billing and logs, and there might be the ability to change kind of the you can go to just see all your different payment history, your usage, and payment methods and such. Yep. So we won't go. This is actually skipping ahead a little bit. Let's head back to the dashboard. So before you go to the dashboard, so while you go to the dashboard, it'll give you some quick links and stuff like that. You can find all these quick links under the admin tab on the left as well. And so one of them is going to be users, so you can actually add new users. So let me talk about that for a second. So you can add other users to your account. So in my situation, right, I have a full-time cold caller. I have added them to my account so that they have their own login, their own voicemail, but it is associated with my account. So anytime they're making calls and text messages, I'm getting billed for that because I'm the account owner. So this is really good if you have, if you want to use, we share the same phone numbers. So if you have like different partners that you want to each have their own like voicemail, their own login, so it's like you're calling as different people, you can do that, or you can just use one account and call as a unified company or something like that if you really want to. So if you head to the admins tab, which I tried to click on earlier, you can see that I'm a user, the account owner, and then we have Mario. And Mario has his own, he has a very limited, when he pops in, he doesn't have all these different settings. He literally just has his inbox and voicemails, and then he has just, that's actually just all that he should have. Because he is a basic member and I'm actually the account owner. So I have the ability to actually update items. He does not. The next tab here in admin is going to be phone numbers. You can see that we have a bunch of phone numbers, and each phone number gets associated with a call flow, and you can click on this green button in the top right corner to get a call to get a new number. You can type in a local area code, right? So at any point, you can purchase a phone number for $5 a month, and you can specify what area code you want and just click to buy a phone number, right? And then you can associate a call flow to it, which is essentially what happens when someone calls or texts that phone number, and then you can start using it. And I'll show you guys when you guys do step through the smartphone Chrome extension smartphone Chrome extension work instructions, I'll actually show you where you can select what phone number you want to be calling or texting with for that day. And if you want to rotate through them, it's really simple. So that should be one of the instructions that you definitely look at before you start doing any calling, right? That'll actually show you how to do the click to call, the click to text situation. But that'll be a totally separate work instruction. So that's how you can add as many phone numbers as you want. You can edit what their name is, so it's easier to remember, right? Indiana 123 or Michigan 123. There's our different phone numbers. Here's the call flows, and we can delete them at any time if we really wanted to. So let me talk about call flows real quick. You can add new ones, but we should have one set up for you already where when you get a call, it goes to dial the account owner. And then if you don't answer when it's dialing, then it goes to your voicemail. And so we also have an SMS flow where someone texts you back, it goes to your text message inbox. There's ways you can go in here and you can create a new one, or you can edit the existing one and change up what it looks like. As far as there's different options, right? You could have it just go straight to voicemail if you wanted to. Or if you add a new user, maybe you want it to go to his or her voicemail instead. You can send it to dial them and go to their voicemail instead. Just you have some different options, but I won't dive into those. You can play around with it as you want, but for the most part, the flow that we've created for you will work, and that's actually what we use on all of ours. Another new feature that they just added, which is super cool, is they have text message templates. So if you want to just create different text message scripts and add a component from the CRM, right, their name or whatever, then you can do that by creating a new SMS template under admin section in SmrtPhone. Some other things to keep just in the back of your mind is account settings. This is if really there's not much in here, you can just, if you want to have a new email for low balance, really doesn't matter here too much. Or if you think it dials too much before it times out, you can shorten that, and you can go from there. Podio, you shouldn't need to touch anything with the Podio system setup, so I highly recommend that you do not touch anything. If you do accidentally go in here and mess with stuff, it could mess with the entire automation and everything, so I would stay away from the Podio setup. We should have taken care of that for you. So last thing you need to know, or a few more things you need to know within SmrtPhone is this inbox function actually shows all the text messages and voicemails that you have. You can access this through the Chrome extension, and it's a lot easier to do that because you can do it while you're in Podio, and you can check voicemails that you get and text messages that you get. So I would highly recommend using that. If you don't like the Chrome extension drop down or whatever, you can actually come into SmrtPhone and do it yourself. And then lastly, I want to show you guys the KPI reports. So this is, I mentioned in the previous video on Podio, is Podio doesn't have a great way of really tracking KPIs. You can kind of just do count the number of calls that might have communications that day, which could kind of give you a sense of how well, if you have an employee, or how well you did that day, right? If you made 500 calls or whatever, 200 calls that day. The other thing, within SmrtPhone, there's a much, much better way of viewing all the KPIs. They have a ton of information here, and you can go navigate through it as far as kind of an overview, how many calls you're getting, how many texts you're getting, what phone numbers, durations, and all that stuff. If it will load here. But you can see you have number performance, you can have activity reports, an overview of calls that day, or whatever it may be. and who was making the calls and everything like that. So you can change the dates to whatever you want, just to view that information. So that is SmrtPhone. I will have another kind of work instruction specific to setting up your voicemail, to installing that Chrome extension, and also using that Chrome extension for calling within Podio. But this should give you a good idea of kind of where everything's located within SmrtPhone and how to navigate that system.